One of the world's most famous and iconic fashion photographers has turned his lens on a very different subject matter. John Rankin Waddell, known simply as Rankin, has photographed the Queen of England, many of the world's most famous politicians, actors and musicians. Yet his latest exhibition in central London features people from one of the poorest and most violent, war-torn places on earth, the Democratic Republic of Congo, which he visited late last year and the year before as well, in fact. And interestingly, the exhibition focuses on love. Why love, Rankin?
Love really is something that's universal, and what I wanted to do in both trips was try and take the idea of these people being victims out of the equation, so make them very, very accessible to everybody. So I photographed everybody on a white background.
Your trademark,
yeah,
really. Yeah.
Kind of my trademark, yeah, to decontextualise them, to really see that they were human beings. And that was very successful in the first trip, and we had a lot of donations to Oxfam when we did the first exhibition. And the second time we wanted to kind of like relate it to something that was even more about us being human beings and them being human beings. So we felt that love stories was something that's universal and that, you know, everybody can relate to. It just makes, it humanises these people. It makes them seem actually real to us, as opposed to something that's thousands of miles away in some kind of victim-orientated country.
Well, let's take a look at the first of the pictures you particularly picked out for us to see. And Alfredo is the name of this marvellous...
Yeah, he was a guitar player, and he was his guitar was completely falling apart, but it was his prized possession. He loved his guitar, and he'd saved up for years, literally, to be able to afford to buy it. And he played these fantastic folk songs about, you know, the situation there, and he was just a very gentle man, and keeps emailing me, actually.
And how old would you say?
I think he's about 45.
Really? So he looks much older.
Yeah, definitely.
That's because of the lack of food.
Yeah, no, lack of water, sanitation. I mean, the thing about the Congo is that there's 2 million people are displaced there. So 2 million people aren't in their own homes.
Where have they been displaced from?
Well, they've been displaced from everywhere. I mean, it's generally the eastern side of Congo that the conflict's happening in, because that's where all the kind of money is, and that's where all the kind of different militia are, to kind of try and gain control of areas so that they can actually kind of take money out of the country. What happens is that, unlike a lot of conflict zones, it's not, people don't go to camps as much there. What they do is they go to other villages, and they become kind of, you know, part of the other villages' life, and go and live in other people's houses. So in the village where we visited, Sangay, you'd get one family who would have probably 4 or 5 other families living in their houses. Which are small enough anyway to, you know, they're tiny to live in. And it's that generosity and that kind of spirit of community, even though these people are, you know, a lot of the time aren't even known to the people that host them, they still allow them in. And the reason is because they say, what if it happened to us, you know, which it does. To most people there, they have to move at one time or another.
And therefore they desperately seek out any way in which to survive.
Yeah, I mean, survival is the main thing there. But what's really interesting is that you don't hear them complaining about it. So, you know, in the West, people complain about the fact that, you know, they didn't get their delivery on time, or missed their train, or what, you know, bus was late. These people, you know, they're living outside of their own villages for a long period of time. You know, 6 months, 7 months.
Here's a marvellous photograph.
Yeah.
Mavida.
Yeah.
Again, probably 50.
I'd say, yeah. I'd say she's
again,
about 50. She looks a bit
much
older. Yeah.
I mean, wonderful face. But
yeah, amazing face, and an amazing woman. And this is her daughter's daughter, so it's her granddaughter. And unfortunately, her daughter died in childbirth. And I mean, the story of love for her is that she's going to care for this baby in the same way that she did her daughter. And things like childbirth, you know, the thing that really kills there is disease, malnutrition, rape. You know, it's not just a conflict, it's what the conflict kind of creates there, and that's the problem, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And you gave some of them cameras, and they took some photographs themselves. Yeah, well, what we and this one is by her, yeah. Is by Mavida. Yeah. Taken in where? Is that the? Well, they have little barber shops in salon. Yeah, it's like it's not quite a salon, but but yeah. The idea that I had, because the first time we went, I took the photographs, and then we did an exhibition in Goma. It was in a camp in Goma, and it was brilliant because all the people that had been photographed got to take their photographs home. This time I thought it'd be more interesting to actually give people cameras and kind of enable them, empower them to take their own photos and take photographs that are of things that they love, of things that they you know, really cherish in life. And again, I called that Congo Family Album. And the idea was that this is the kind of thing that we all do. We take photographs of our friends, of our pets, of our loved ones, you know, of whatever. And this is what everybody did. And then we did an exhibition of those. Yeah. And I mean, the way that they are and starving and all of that. Yes. Do you, as a result of your 2 trips, do you just regard that as a sort of act of nature, or do you blame the politicians for being corrupt and everything? I mean, I don't. I feel uncomfortable getting political about it, because I don't think that anybody can go to a country and really understand what the political situation is. I'm not a journalist. I'm a photographer, and I wanted to go there with Oxfam, who do things like sanitisation and water, and it's a very straightforward. If you have clean water and clean living, you don't die. So my feeling was to kind of more about kind of getting money to just help people survive. But yes, there is a petition, a photo petition, saying something needs to be done about Congo. 5 million people have died in Congo in the last 10 years, 12 years. And that's ridiculous, and nobody really knows about it or talks about it, and that's why I thought it was a good idea to go there. This is a fantastic thing you've done here. It's called We Are Congo. We Are Congo. Good luck with it. Thank you very much. We'll be right back.